telegraph that was read to me on the phone last night says, "Pay your dues, we are due for ours." And it's signed the Women's Art Workers. It reads, "Pay your dues, we are due for ours. Women's Art Workers in New York."
It's about time.
Did anyone catch that?
Anybody understand?
I don't. No, this both said that. Taxes is supposed to. Taxes is supposed to.
No, that's a good idea. Why don't we send some stuff?
Yes.
Well, you get your
What's the
Lawrence, what does that mean? I actually count it. No, let's go.
Saying that you better do something here because they're going to get you when you get back to New York.
And then a woman outgoes as woman. Why nice? I'm very well willing.
I was going to talk about planes over here. I went back way on to get it.
It's clear to go on.
art workers?
I know those people. I would not take it so lightly, actually. They're not people to be taken lightly.
No, what's the...
And therefore, Carl, I have said, at last, I said, I love you therefore, because you have this, one side is this. Because it is necessary in the future to work together. And what a man is on the other side weak, he has I have to fulfill your one-sidedness.
I agree.
And that is, for me, the only possibility of working together. Not in a commune. I am against the commune. That's an old system, the old blood, the old clans. No, the freedom is to fulfill the bad possibilities of my brother. And you have to fulfill my badness. And that's the only possibility.
I certainly agree with that.
Yes. And therefore we have to speak about the culture of love. That's a true socialism. To give in the, from the point of freedom, a good gift for the community. That's for me the problem.
Well, can you all
And it's very
decide on
happy.
what that is? What could that be?
It runs across egoism. It runs across the powers of the galleries and all things, and the egoism of the money and in glory things and all things. You are captured in, everybody is captured in these bad instincts. But you have to battle down these bad instincts, and only the culture of the future has only to do nothing for me, all things for the other. That's the extreme system. Nothing for me. Bad instincts, yes.
I don't think so.
Everybody has this
That's a
bad
religious
instinct.
view here. That's a
I
religious
too.
sin.
Therefore I say, nothing for me, all things for the other. It means on the other side, to make more for, what heißt anstrengen?
Yeah, but to be scientific, that's not an instinct.
More to work on this point of freedom, to prepare yourself as a good, what heißt Werkzeug?
Working equipment.
As a good working equipment for the social things. And therefore you have to at first to do with the point of freedom, to prepare you as a good equipment for the community. And that's science and art. The section freedom has to do in social system to do with the culture. Equality has to do with the laws, with the rights, and brotherhood has to do with the economy. That's the system.
Well, let's talk about that bank again. Because I think that's a concrete thing, and it's a very worthwhile situation. No, come on now, listen. Because the money that, like Carl and I were talking earlier, the possibility of wider situations like that. I mean, the artists in this world could put together enough money to be as powerful as a Chase Manhattan Bank with the
Oh, no, that's not even that.
Yes, because then when you do that, you can own a television system which you can get across the
But I don't want television set because I don't have
Yeah,
children. I don't look at television. I don't like television.
I'll tell you something, Ron Stoner doesn't watch
But the common people do, and you could own them. And
I think we're all pretty common as a matter of fact. No,
You guys
my
have
idea
an
of
issue.
this bank was just everybody here sort of kick in a work of art and you have a capital of $100,000. Oh, nice.
Okay, you put in the stock market and make money in that too.
Oh, Jesus, man.
That's
You
usually
want to make money, go to a different field in art, because art is a terrible way to make money.
Why not?
Oh, if it ever becomes...
We're looking for solutions to problems, Carl.
But Ian, a fundamental criticism I would make of you is that you wish to make of art all that in the society which I most despise.
No, I do not wish to change what you despise by using it.
So I don't want to use it. I would like to have it politely removed.
Well, that won't happen.
Well, I'm going to be doing that to change it. It's like garbage. I'm going to do prettying up the garbage. I want to remove.
Remove to the other two sides of the country. Take out mine, we're putting wings or something.
I'll tell you, the dilemma I feel in listening to a lot of this is that for a number of reasons, we've gone through, we do have a different kind of opportunity, a different kind of freedom of movement. It is possible to make our opinions felt in ways today that were different even 50 years ago, 100 years ago. But I consider myself a very amateur politician. And I'm wondering if it's going to be necessary to become more shrewd as a politician. But I must say that some of the things I hear are
What
proposed.
about doing it through the art? That's basically your only way that you can change the culture.
Because I don't agree with
Without rhetoric is by making certain kinds of art.
There's a time and place for rhetoric.
So you're putting all kinds of limitations on us.
Rhetoric is a skill.
What you're doing is confining your freedom. Your solution is to confine your own freedom.
Unnecessary skill in art, making it necessary to make art.
Rhetoric can't be useful to move people to young men.
You have only to ask what are the possibilities of art? Only. In immense way, the question, what are the possibilities of art? Why are you interested to think about education together with art principles? Why you are interested to make an education for the children together with art principles? Because in your inside, was heißt unterbewusst?
Well, we sure got a bunch of subversive people.
Subconsciously.
Subconsciousness, in your subconsciousness, you have the knowledge that through this medium the man has a communication with another system.
So I'm supposed to lock up the music.
Other system.
Holy Christ. Anybody opening any doors?
Is it possible to teach art?
Sure.
It must be.
I don't know.
Possible to teach anything?
Put off the camera, okay.
That's the whole problem of the evolution. We have teach one has to teach another man.
No, not art.
Teaching is not only here. You have the professor who knows all things, and we are the pupil. Human has to learn. The man has to learn. Teach one another to fulfill the bad things for my brother and to fulfill my own bad things.
Yeah, what if the next thing
Big idiots leading the little idiots.
I feel like going through my 12 most popular Zen koans right now. I feel like
What?
I can race through.
Well, if you have children in school, there's nothing funny about the educational system.
What if it is?
Kunstakademie is only a
That's
room,
New York.
a good room before raining and cold. You can work in this room, you can say there's an academy, all that is a harbor, this is a harbor is too academy for me.
Yeah.
A football place is the academy too. All things in life are academy.
Just stick your hands up.
Enjoy my own pictures. Pick up the guy I like to turn him on.
And each person is a pupil and a student. That shows the art direction. And that's teaching, not only to ask the teacher able to
Oh, they didn't give me the go.
as the students.
Well, did you tell you not to?
I don't know why, but it just struck me. How many children do we have collectively? Joseph, how many children do you have? You know?
In my family, yes, 2.
Larry? 1. Hell. None. 1. 2. 1. 1. Well, I'll win!
Let's go for what's easy. What is your
I was very efficient.
No.
How many chickens is your pot?
And then you have to have, you must have sheep soon. Then you see, then you see the thing in another way. Then you can see on your child that you are not, you have not made your child.
Probably knowing.
I am the construction of my child. The child is a very strange person who came in this world. I am not the builder of my. I have not.
Yes, but no child knows his father.
He's a wise child.
I have done this child with my Schwanz. That's very
You better know.
That's where we are arguing.
I think we better send a telegram to Williams people about this.
Yes,
Yeah.
Was there a funny idea?
Well, you know where it is.
Yes, it's a museum, which is at,
Is it a
The museum pay for telegram?
no, museum, which is a collective place to show art. It's where art is going to collectivist.
I mean, it's not supported by very much money.
The collectivist of internal revenue.
That one's very good.
Do you think you can change anything here by this discussion?
Change anything here? Sure.
What? Is there anything more that can be done?
Well, I don't think we can change anything outside this room except by the people the activity of the people inside this room are going to make outside this room. That's the change, and whether this event changes the people in the room. Therefore, then it will have an effect outside the room. And in most cases, you have to pay for group therapy.
We're paying for the lows. Is everybody interested in this idea of an artist capitalized fund, international fund? I think that mostly it's just kind of a gun to hold ahead of the international gallery system, I think. So an artist...
But don't you think the international gallery system gets undermined kind of very gradually?
By itself?
By itself.
But it's enormous growth, on the contrary. 15 years ago, there was really no such phenomena in avant-garde or the kind of art we do. There was no
Bullshit.
international art market in it at all. It was an international art market, but not of the kind of art we did at all.
Yeah, but that was then. So was Charlie.
I'm saying today there is an enormous international art market in the NATO community, of course, and that's flourishing glorious. Well, there isn't any in India to speak of, I think.
I'll have a show in India.
Yeah, through the U.S. Information Service, I know.
Why
Why we are in Vietnam, it's called.
His job is to take like that. That was the highlight of it.
Well, given the amount of time it takes to implant any of these plans, it'd be nice to think that
We all have children.
it'd be nice to think that what gets done is going to open up a situation for somebody else. Not all the doors have been closed for us, and
And we have closed all the doors behind us, right?
well, I sometimes wonder at times.
What doors do you think have been closed up? Did you wonder at times about those doors? You wonder.
That would be different as a start.
I wonder very deep too.
Larry, you have basis for a hot argument there. You shouldn't have had a tough time.
Well, to one extent, I suppose, I think given the economics of art, there are only a certain number of artists at any one time who can be in the position of commodity artist. So in a certain sense, if one does occupy the commodity artist position in the society, you are denying that place to somebody else.
No, that has very specifically to do with the very limited concept.
Yes.
Well, I'm not sure it is. You said it's getting bigger.
All right, if there's more money put into the art world as such, that just more commodity artist positions are emerging. That's flexible. What I'm saying is that it's a finite number. It's a business about anybody can make art, or who wants to make art, but only a few people that are allowed in our society to derive their livelihood from art.
I don't understand the word allow.
You don't really
It's budgeted. It's budgeted. It's not consciously. The amount of economic resources available to art in the society is finite.
Well, yes, but I don't think it has only to do with the economic thing. It's the ability of people to absorb that number.
The number of people it takes.
Like,
Well,
say everybody in the Manhattan telephone directory was. I mean, you look through these books that are published, like Who's Who in art. Have you ever seen these things? And you look through that, and there's. I get forms to kind of submit. It's never do. But but they send you a sample sheet, of people, and there are all these people, who are making art. But one's never heard
I don't
of.
think either of the commodity artists.
Well, they have commodities on
They don't say
the Safeway or something like that, rather than Henry Bender.
I would say most of those people in that book are artists who are not commodity artists simply because they did not derive their main income from art, but probably derive their main income from some art-related field, like education. I'm sure most...
How about the theory guys you were taught? Like the one for teaching, go around? Yeah, the one go around, want to do a question. I want to know.
Well, we could ask people,
Inspiration.
what is the main source of your income? Can we ask everybody that?
Sure.
Okay, let's go.
Joseph, main source of income. We know you have 2 kids, now we want...
What I can answer.
Where do you make all your money from? Most of your money. Most money from? Your art or whatever?
Teaching or what?
No, more for my art. Teaching is not so good paid in Germany. I can only pay for fuel for my car. Then it's finished.
Okay. Lawrence, where do you derive the principal source? Where do you derive most of your money from?
Totally and completely.
Richard?
From my art.
Al?
I won't answer
And tap dance.
Between me and my government.
If no one promises to tell Sylvia, we should... Would that change the game?
Wait a minute, what do you mean you won't answer it?
He's free.
Okay, come on, I know
You
you
just beat him up and get the answer.
I got it. Al's
Well, Al can take care of something. At least against me.
Lonnie, do you care to answer?
My art.
Well,
time to time, it varies, teaching or the work.
About the same?
Mostly my work, some teaching.
Yeah, that's most.
Yeah.
It is teaching. Teaching?
Very small, like mentioned somewhere.
Okay. Mario? Yeah. So, this,
This year it was also for non, but normally for teaching.
non-teaching. Go there?
From 6 months on.
6 months?
Yeah, that's the same too.
The rest of here goes to cave. No, more from art than teaching, more from art than anything else. More from art than anything else. Where did you lose your money from?
And now the next
Question people didn't answer.
how
that.
many money do you invest for political changing, Carl? In the month?
Oh. No, I'll tell you actually what I do is occasionally I like the American Civil Union, all these radical liberal reformist backward-looking organizations, I maybe give $250 a year, or the last year, and this year to various, like the Civil Liberties Union and
Perhaps it is
Senator
too less,
Cummings.
perhaps it is too much. It depends on the people who gives the money, no? On the
Right.
ideas.
I mean, that's just...
If the ideas are good, or when the ideas are bad, it is too much. $250.
No, that's not...
But if the ideas are very good, it is too less.
Monumental stuff.
You have to give more. For good ideas, you have to invest all your money.
I've also donated works of art which have been auctioned off, but that's...
That's a whole different
No, it isn't. It's just different... Well, that's very interesting. Getting paid.
No, it's actually, I'm very happy here. Happy day.
Oh, yeah, it's very graphic.
Very expensive.
What's now? Is there any?
I had a speech I wanted to make before I leave, but unfortunately there isn't time.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Bye, Bob.
Bye.
Now, there you go. I mean, one of the... One of the reasons driven out by the pressure of income was brought up. Apropos being able to live from what you spend most of your time in. I mean, we just had a vague run through the room regarding where one gets their money from, or whether in fact art does support. I mean, whether they are supported by what they do, or they have to use something ancillary to what they do in order to live, exist, pay for their needs. Where was that going to, Carl? I think you had brought it up originally.
Well, no, I think this sprang from my belief that there is only a certain number of slots in society for people who do make their money from art, especially in this peculiar area of art that we're in. I don't know what to call it, advanced art, although the word is hated, experimental art, research art, or what, or anything you want to call it. I don't care what the name is because I don't put any value on mechanics. No, because that includes Andrew Wyatt, who's an entirely different commodity slot. I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's no problem.
Or Norman Rockwell, who is self-confessedly a different commodity slot. He's an illustrator, calls himself an illustrator, and does not call himself a fine artist, so-called.
No, but there's no problem at all. You can have all types of fine arts.
They can all be
It doesn't matter.
No,
But the only thing I want to say, advanced art is just nothing. It doesn't exist.
Okay.
There's no, don't make a problem out of it.
What we do exist. I'll just say what we do is, what I'm saying is there are all kinds of art-related professions in society which are much more highly budgeted than the kind of what we do. Let's say interior decoration or store window trimming. I'm sure if we looked at the budget for store window trimming in America, it's much higher than the budget for so-called vinyl. It would be an interesting economic thing. What I'm saying is artists and people related to art have a tremendous resistance to an analysis, an economic analysis of their own profession and their own milieu, their own life system within the larger life system. You can go to your gallery and try to negotiate terms with your gallery, and your gallery will say, oh, it's so expensive, Carl. Oh, you don't understand. Oh, expenses here and expenses. I said, what expenses? Let's see it in black and white. I said, oh, you can't break it down. You can't break it down. It's a lot. It's a lot. Whenever there is this mystification surrounding any area of human knowledge, you know there's hugger-mugger and skullduggery going on there. Perhaps not deliberate, but maybe it's just a slop that's happening there by a lot of incompetent people. But I would like to see what the economics of art are. I would like to have economists go in, look at the books, see what the cash flow is, where it comes from and where it goes. Then I would like to revise the artwork.
That's been done not terribly well, whereas
It has not
art
been
and
at all.
culture has been put into an economic situation in the United States.
Larry,
Which
there
is
is
allowed
no
them
information
to
on
call
the
a
subject.
transfer economy. Art falls into the subject of
Larry,
transfer
you're
money.
just giving me garbage. I want to see the figures.
The economy of art is so small that it's not important. It's a whole economy. It is so
In the
small.
whole economy, yes,
It's
but in
not
terms of my
1%.
life and livelihood, it's the soul economy.
Still worrying about a pension
Not
fund.
1% from our economical
I
behavior.
agree, Joseph, but it's 100% of my economical behavior. I mean, that's no reason not to have the information, is it? Why is it people resist information of this kind?
Dick Dolan put forward a proposal at one time in the gallery of people getting like a percentage of, for instance, of resale.
Of course, well, there's a law in Europe, there's a law in France. Yes. It should be a law in the United States, of course. Either that, or Frank Stella suggested that the sale of artworks by living artists be made illegal, and that artworks be only leased for a terminal length, a terminal period, and that at the end of that period, those artworks revert to some institution. So you could lease a work of art for 99 years, but that's all.
Just like Xerox.
Yeah.
Some of my feelings were, I was hoping that, I don't know, it was too naive, I thought maybe some of these recommendations came out from us just as a series of artists that got together and we wanted to put these things out as ideas that would be, maybe out there so people could see some of the aspirations out there. But I think they're very valid things that we should do. But I maybe can't.
Do you think the economics of the art world gets less healthy or more healthy? Or is it me?
I don't think
the kind of money people talk about, which is that's beyond belief.
Well, I find that the corruptions of the art world are so various, complete, and diametrically challenging that it winds up being a crap game of a lottery.
Well, look, for instance, this conference, I was talking to the PR man who spent some attention last night, and he said it's kind of, it's cost his company £4,000. Oh, yes. Well, $15,000.
That's probably the price of a good London one.
Or something. Or, so it's a lot of money. Well, it's not a little bit,
But what does that mean?
The corruption in art.
Well, it's a hard fact, right? It's a hard input fact. Fine. Well, if we could integrate that with all the other.
The corruption in art economy is not so big.
I know it's small.
Can you describe any situation of corruption with your gallerist or with any gallerist? If you see a gallerist is a corrupt type, you can go there. Yes? And I think the corruption in the normal political confusion together with economical things is a big corruption. Just the economic in art economy is very, very small, I think. It is nothing. It's not corruption. There's a man who is a dealer for your articles only. Because you are too lazy to make this process by yourself. It is for you. It is a help for you.
I couldn't do it because
Yes, you couldn't do it.
my urge from the very beginning, one of the reasons I have a deal was my urge. If somebody comes in and says they like something, I give it to them. That's my urge. I'm sorry. It's not because I am a virtuous person. It's because I'm a regressive infantile person. I've never really understood the sophistication of markets and so forth. So I have a dealer because my dealer doesn't say, oh, you like that, have it, thank you. I mean, I have no artworks of my own. I have none.
Sure, but that has nothing to do with corruption. With this point, you have nothing with corruption.
Well, just I think it's essentially.
You have to. Then you can let's see the names of the corrupted people. But I cannot see. I can describe Signagenis as a special person. I can describe Charles Meder as a special person. Konrad Fischer as a special person. But I cannot see the corruption. That's a big word, the corruption in the economy and art. I cannot see this in this heaviness.
I'm
I see corruption on another place.
No, I wasn't talking about corruption.
It's only confusion. It is a very simple system.
Yeah, well, let me know when it
What I
starts.
think is an example of corruption. With the museum. The Art Workers Coalition had a demonstration in the courtyard of the Museum of Modern Art on one Sunday last spring, or a year ago last spring. And the Art Workers Coalition made their speeches and passed out their papers, and the Museum of Modern Art was there, and they passed out their paper. And the Museum of Modern Art said that the one criteria that they had for having art shown in the museum or printed in the museum was quality. They used that word, quality. And they said, this is our only consideration, not politics, not class, race, religion, nationality, anything. Quality was the only thing. The next day I received a telephone bill. At that time I still had a telephone, right? No longer. I received a telephone bill, and with the telephone bill there was a pamphlet from the telephone company. And the telephone company was trying to sell me a Princess telephone, which is a new model telephone. And one of their arguments for me getting a Princess telephone is that it was so beautiful, it was in the permanent collection of the Museum of Modern Art. What they really mean, every time you hear the word quality in art, read commodity.
But the museum's argument is the right way if they, when they ask for quality. But what is quality? Perhaps the thing is a great thing of quality is implicated with engaged political impact. And the museum buys this impact. Yes, what is quality? Quality is not only...
Quality is a bourgeois myth.
Oh no.
In art, absolutely.
That's primitive.
No.
Quality is a good thing.
No, I can't believe that because I see so little of art moves me. I can't believe that
You will
quality
bet
is
for
quite-
quantity or for quality? You can only to decide between quality or quantity. What is
Well,
that?
that's another meaningless thing.
No, quality is a very good word. Quality.
Oh, it's a terrible
Yes.
word. It's a bourgeois...
No.
class